Hello friends, and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to show you my February Plan With Me theme that is actually Avatar The Last Airbender. If you don't know what Avatar The Last Airbender is, it's actually a TV show, or maybe you can say that it's a a cartoon, or maybe an anime. I'm not really sure, so I'm going to call this a TV show instead of a cartoon, or maybe an anime. But I think it's more a cartoon instead of a TV show, but whatever. If you don't know what Avatar The Last Airbender is, as I said, it's a TV show that used to be played on Nickelodeon, and it's actually currently available on Netflix, so I already did a marathon watching it, and I can say that I'm really obsessed with this TV show. I used to watch this show when I was a kid, a 10-year-old maybe, and I'm currently 20 years old and I'm still obsessed with this TV show, and I really loved it. If you've never watched Avatar The Last Airbender, please don't watch the movie, because the movie is actually horrible. Watch the cartoon, it's way more fun. You spend 4 seasons with a lot of a great time, and you will laugh a lot. So I really recommend on your bad days to watch this cartoon. It's actually a good medicine for bad days. As I was saying, Avatar is actually the person that can use the 4 elements, and with the 4 elements I'm talking about air, water, earth and fire. Avatar in this cartoon or TV show is actually a young boy that was frozen on an iceberg, and he was found by this brother and sister that were from the water tribe, and they find Aang, that is the name of this avatar, and they start a long friendship that is really strong, and that's the beginning of this TV show. I think that this TV show was actually one of the reasons why I started to like a lot the elements, so I can blame this show, and I'm really thankful because I learned a lot with this TV show, and I think that most of people think that this TV show is really special, and it's just amazing. If you didn't watch this TV show, really watch it, you won't regret it. So for my cover page I decided to draw the silhouette of Aang, and inside it there is this beautiful sunset with some stars on his head, and in the middle you can see a flying bison that is actually called Appa, and Appa is really cute. I think you are going to fall in love with this animal because he's really sweet and cute. And basically he's the Avatar's pet, because Aang is actually from the Air tribe, and as you can see the show is called Avatar The Last Airbender, so the people from the Air Nation, Air tribe, I don't know how to say that because I actually watched this show in Portuguese and I don't know the English terms of this show, so I'm so sorry if I say something incorrectly, and you are completely free to correct me on the comments down below. I won't be mad, and I will actually be really thankful because I will learn something with you guys. This theme was actually one of the most requested themes I had on my YouTube community tab and also on my Instagram posts, so I hope I make justice to this theme for you guys. As I was saying, this cover page I decided to use my Pearl collection from the Kansai Tambi watercolors, and I use this cobalt watercolor that is metallic, and I did use this blue metallic watercolor because when the avatar enters in the avatar state or mode, I don't know how you guys say it in English, but his eyes and the arrow on his head start glowing in a blue light, so this was inspiration to the blue and the arrow being metallic, so it has this cosmic vibe and it actually turned really cool. On the right, the page, I decided to do this mini calendar. I don't actually use this calendar that much, that's the reason why I did this small one. And on below this calendar, I did this small list of the important things that happens on that day. For my habits and mood trackers, I decided to be inspired on the Water Nation. But before that, I am cutting some tabs to separate some of my spreads. I saw this on plant-based sprite videos, but I actually used this method on my previous bullet journal, and it actually turned out really beautiful and useful, so I'm trying to use that again in this bullet journal, so I see if I actually like it or is it still useful. So I'm going to just cut this in small tabs. I decided to do 4 tabs, and let's see if that works. So as I was saying, I decided to do water tribe inspired habits and mood trackers. So for this I decided to illustrate Katara, that is basically the sister that I mentioned before. She's actually one of my favorite characters. She has such a mood and such a strong willing for adventure and all of that. She is really inspiring because she is really bossy, and I actually liked her so much. This on the left page, where I am doing my habit trackers, I separated this in 9 habits that I wanted to track, and I'm using my mini stamps calendars, where I covered the last row of this calendar, that is the 29th, the 30th and the 31st, and I just cleaned with a makeup wipe so it doesn't stamp on the paper, and it actually turned out really good. I'm going to leave all the material list down below, so don't be worried. I always leave all the materials that I use in this video for you guys on the description down below, so check it out. Moving on, for my mood trackers, I decided to do these moon and water spirits that are represented by these 2 koi fish. I think they are koi fish. In the show they actually never said what type of fish this is, but they are really similar to koi fish, so I'm going to call this koi fish. They represent the end of the first season of this show, so I won't talk too much about this because I will spoil, but it's a really emotional moment that it's totally worth it to see. Now you're watching me coloring this small part of the page in black, just because when I am going to flip the pages, it doesn't show the blue page and it's still consistent, and I decided to do these black borders for all of the spreads so it stays consistent and makes sense for all of the spreads. I am painting now one of the koi fishes in black because in the actual show one of them is white and the other is black. I think the white one represents the moon and the black one represents the, I think, or is it the water or is the sea? I actually don't remember that well, but I think it's something related to the sea and water and all that. I'm coloring the tab in blue because it makes sense since it's a water nation inspired spread. And to color this spreads, I decided to use a blue watercolor, and I decided to paint around the trackers, not all the page but just around, because it makes this effect more beautiful, and I think you all can agree on that. I think it turned out really good, and I'm going to leave you to this time-lapse of me doing the spread because I actually don't have a lot to talk about this because I don't want to spoil. I am actually a little bit tired, and just to resume this all spread, basically I just painted the borders black, I painted the page blue, I did some metallic elements to represent some ice elements on this spread, and I just stamped the names of the spread, and that's basically it. I also colored 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐵, so there's that, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys really soon. For my work and sleep spread, I actually said it backwards. I usually say sleep and work spread or tracker. I decided to draw Toph. Toph is actually a blind girl that is the one that teaches Aang how to earth bending. That means how to use the power of earth. She is really a badass, and I decided to paint a 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜 because I forgot to paint her on the part that I recorded 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜 and the spread about her. So there's that, because I decided to draw and paint Toph, and I remembered to also do that on 𝐾𝐢𝐬𝐜, and it actually turned out really good. Notebook therapy paper is amazing. It didn't bleed at all, and I used not too much water. That's the thing that I learned about this paper, but just the right amount of water is perfect for watercolor, and I actually used gouache on this spread too. So as I was saying, I'm painting Toph, and my sleep and work tracker isn't that amazing because it's just a huge table where I just paint the hours of sleep and what I worked, and this month I decided to separate this sleep and work in 2 tables instead of just 1, but it's basically the same. It actually didn't switch that much. One thing that I learned on bullet journaling is that if a spread works for you, stay consistent. Don't switch the spreads just because it looks beautiful or prettier on Instagram pages and it's not useful for you. This one is actually really useful for me. It's not that interesting, but the main important of bullet journaling is to be useful, to be helpful for you, and this is the reason why I never switch the layout of my sleep and work tracker. To make this earth vibe element, I did the same I did on my habits and mood trackers, which was painting a green tone watercolor around the page, and it actually turned out really beautiful and I loved it. On my sleep and work tracker, I never have something to draw or something beautiful or an illustration maybe, and this time I decided to draw it off, and it was really something out of the box that came out of my mind, and I really loved it. So let me know in the comments if you have ever watched this TV show or cartoon, whatever you want to call it, and what is your favorite character of the show. Mine is actually Zuko. It's not Katara, it's not Aang, it's Zuko. Zuko started as the bad guy, but seeing his progress along the show was amazing, and it made him my favorite character. So tell me your favorite character on the comments down below. So to switch some things on my bullet journal, I decided to do something different that I've never used. That was a food and a weight tracker. I actually plan to make a diet on February. I'm not doing it in January because I need organization, I need motivation, and I need some less days to eat the things I really like before I go to a diet where I force myself to not eat certain things that does bad to my health. So for this I decided to print on an envelope this image of Aang. It actually was illustrated by another artist. I found it on Pinterest. I didn't search the artist name, so if you know who did it, please tag him on the comments down below. I'll make sure to tag him on the description if I found the name. He has the name on this picture, but I'll make sure to check it out if his Instagram is this name, and I'll leave on the description down below so you can check his account or hers. I'm not sure who the artist is. But basically I just did this envelope so I can put the paper with all the food and all of that separately and just put it inside this envelope. I think it's practical, it doesn't take that much of space on this bullet journal, and it doesn't get bulky, so that's a good fact. On the right page I'm doing an expenses tracker. I'm giving this another try. Since my YouTube channel since my YouTube channel is now monetized, I get money from my YouTube videos, so I want to track that, and if I get the money of my videos, I want to write it somewhere, so this is what it is meant for. I'm also earning some small commissions from Notebook Therapy's purchases from you guys. If you use my code Bujo on your checkout list on the purchase you make on Notebook Therapy, that is the notebook that I'm using currently, you will get 10% off your purchase and I will earn a small commission from that, so that's a win-win for you and for me. I'm using my red and blue watercolors to just give some effects. I really liked the different metal elements on this theme. It was just the right the right reason to use this. This was actually a Christmas gift that my girlfriend gave to me, and I'm really happy that she did, because it's something that I wanted for so long, and I really loved it. So let me know in the comments if you like watercolors that are metallic, and if you do, that's something we have in common. Now to finish this expenses tracker, I'm coloring Iroh, that is actually Zuko's uncle, and he started as well as a bad guy, but he's just so cute and so sweet. He's really a really good soul, and if you see the show or already saw it, you know what I mean. He's just a really sweet soul, and you will fall in love with him because he's just the best, and he does a really good tea. So yeah, I decided to put Iroh, or if you want to call him Uncle Iroh, I decided to put him because he's just that person that really made the show a different thing, for the better, of course. I'm stamping now the expenses, and I think this spread is done. I will color Iroh's gloves more forward, and I think you can see it right now. That is a more brownish tone, and I think it looks way better. For my next page, I am doing my social media spread. I actually did a whole video about this spread on my last video. I will link it on the description down below, and I will explain how I use it and all about it on that video. So I won't talk too much about this page just because of that. I want you to go watch that video. And it is actually really chill, and the voiceover is actually perfect. I did such a great job, and yeah. For this spread, I decided to draw Zuko, that, as I said, is my favorite character, and just to say some words about him, he's actually a prince from the Fire Nation, and his main job is to capture the Avatar. That's why I said that he started as the bad guy. He actually, on the first or the second episode, he finds Aang and he captures him, but I think that Zuko has a really good story, and he learns a lot about honor, and honor is like a curse word for him, and you will get that's what I mean, and you will understand this when you see this show. So if you already saw the show and you know what honor in this show means, leave a comment down below saying the word honor. For my last spread, I decided to make a one line a day plus a brain dump. I decided to not make a weekly spread on this video because February only have 4 weeks, and I think that I can make a video doing only the 4 weekly spreads, and for me that makes sense because I did a lot of spreads for this video, and I hope you don't mind. But if you want to see more weekly spreads, I have a lot of plan with me videos that you can get some inspiration from. For my one line a day, I decided to do these 4 elements tribe symbols, and I decided to paint each line a correspondent color of the symbol. It's actually a pretty simple spread, both of them. I only painted the lines, I did some gray lines to separate each day, and it was actually just that. It actually turned out really good. And I think that for my brain dump, I only did some lettering using my markers that I used on these 4 elements, and I just did a black border, and it was only that. Here's the final flip through of my February theme. I hope you guys liked this theme as much as I did. I know it's a little way too detailed, but it was totally worth it. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you stay tuned for a new video in the future. Thank you so much for all the support, and I really hope you have an amazing day or night wherever you are. So I think that's all. Bye, friends.